Welcome to Cars R Us Network's Collision Corner, where we dive into the world of auto repair, industry trends, and the challenges of running a body shop. On this episode of the Collision Corner, we're going to be getting a little personal. Right now in the shop, we're dealing with a collision that happened during a very bad snowstorm. And right off of the rip, I knew there was going to be an issue with this adjuster, right? Let me give you a little rundown of what happened. So a client came to us with a vehicle. They said they got into a minor accident which impacted the vehicle on the driver rear door and a little bit of the rocker panel, right? We had contacted the insurance company. Mind you, nobody had answered at this point. So he received the email stating that he should bring the vehicle to a DRP, right? And get a rental from a company that they referred him to. He had said to them that he does not want to use their companies and he wants to go forward with using our facility. The problem here now is there's a language barrier as to where the insurance adjuster is speaking to him in his native tongue and he's getting the emails in English. Right there, you already know there's a little issue because if you're speaking to him in his native tongue, why would you be sending him an email in English? Therefore, he cannot read in English, right? He had brought the vehicle to us, dropped off the vehicle, and went to get a rental from his preferred rental shop. Now, the issue is they do not want to cover the rental because they're saying basically he never got it from where they wanted to and they never approved it, which by regulation, a person who's been in an accident is allowed to go anywhere they feel comfortable getting their vehicle repaired or wherever they feel comfortable getting a rental from. So at this point right now, I knew there was going to be a problem because maybe they have their own commission that they work with and maybe it was just a situation that she just didn't want to deal with after he said he wanted to go somewhere else. Now, the problem with this is they said that they have an estimate that was already prepared without looking at the vehicle. I emailed her and I said, listen, we understand that you guys wanted him to go to wherever you guys need him to go, which would be your DRP. We don't have a problem with it, but the client has a problem with it. He had purchased a vehicle from our dealership, first of all, and he wanted to get it repaired by our dealership. So at this point right now, we stated to her that he prefers to get it done here. She said, well, you guys cannot touch the vehicle until an estimate has been provided by an appraiser on their behalf. He had explained to them that that doesn't make any sense because your DRP already created an estimate without the vehicle even being on their premise. At this point right now, I intervened and I told her, listen, we're able to honor the estimate that your DRP created if we're able to go forward with the repairs. She already came back to me with attitude telling me that if we touch the car, they're not going to be paying for any repairs, which if you understand what I just said, if you honor the repairs, we would go forward with fixing the vehicle. So right there, her response let me know that this was going to be a headache. Right there. As the claim is proceeding, she starts to get snappy in the emails and not responding accordingly. Like to me, she's responding off of emotion. I'm responding, I would say professional. The emails will be provided if needed. If somebody needs to see them, you could DM me or you could private message us and we will be able to shoot you a thread to see how professional we were in responding to her. It gets to the point now where I just say, you know what? It's okay. Just let me know when the appraiser is going to come out and we'll keep the vehicle on our lot. She says that the appraiser will be out between 5 to 6 business days. The appraiser came out in 3 business days. I said, no problem. This is perfect because at least, the ball's getting rolled here. Let's figure out how to get this car repaired and back to the client in a timely fashion. The appraiser comes, praises the vehicle February 25th. Now we're approaching to March 4th. And I'm saying to myself, okay, where is this estimate? How come we have not received the estimate if a DRP was able to create the estimate without the vehicle even being on their property? Why is this estimate taking this long if they already have the estimate? All they would have to do literally is go back to the estimate and recreate it and approve it. No estimate. I'm sending off emails, no response. We're trying to figure out what's going on here. Now, finally got a hold of her, right? She's saying to me that she thinks that the appraiser is going to take the vehicle and write it off as a total loss. I'm trying to figure out how does minor damage to a driver rear passenger door result in a total loss? And if it's a total loss, here comes the kicker. They're not approving his rental because he didn't use their rental company of choice. So if you're going to write the vehicle off as a total loss, that means that it's not drivable. So the fact that you're telling me that the vehicle is not drivable, why would you not be approving his rental? So right now, this is the dilemma that we're going through right now. And it's a problem because right now I feel like it needs to be escalated and sent to a higher level so that this could be resolved. Because at this point, it's literally, I feel that she's just upset. Even throughout the conversation yesterday, I was having a simple conversation with her and she was saying, oh, I don't like your tone of your voice. The problem with these insurance adjusters is that they like to deal with the front office so that they could bully your secretary. They could bully the administrative team and they could bully the client, right? At this point right now, I'm not saying that she's a bully, but she's really petty because even during the conversation, I didn't tell her that she was petty. And she right out front said, I'm not doing this to try to be petty. I asked her, why would you say that? Because none of the emails state that you are being petty or this is an issue or this is a problem. Problem is that I'm speaking to her in a tone of passion and I'm trying to get the client back their vehicle. This happened literally on February 16th, 2025. And I'm trying to figure out right now, why do we still have this vehicle on our lot, which is March 5th, and it does not even have an estimate? It's not our problem that the car is not being fixed, but it needs to be resolved because, like I said, there is a language barrier. And on top of that, we have a written consent to handle the claim for the customer because he doesn't speak English. She keeps saying that she spoke to him in their native tongue, but he's not understanding what's going on. So to me, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking that she's trying to write off the vehicle so that they can get him off of the insurance policy, period, right? That's the only way I see that she could even remove him from the policy because he's not doing anything wrong. And believe me now, she's going to have to explain why this person has an insurance policy if they were unable to read the contract, right? So at this point right now, it's the waiting game. And this is the dilemma that we're facing right now with this client. And to be honest with you, I have at least 8 open claims with this insurance company right now. And I have not had a problem with anybody or anything. The way how I send these emails off, I've even received checks prior to even cars being completed because they're like, you're so respectful. You talk straightforward and you get right to the point. So the fact that she has a problem with this, I know it's because maybe she lost a commission. Maybe, maybe it was something, maybe she sent it somewhere where she feels that it could go. And my biggest problem with this whole thing is that the DRP was so pushy. The client had showed me the emails. They emailed him 4 times within an hour to sign the work order. I was saying to myself, this doesn't even make sense. Why are they being so aggressive with the work order? If the person needs to find somebody to help them figure out how to read the emails or how to speak to him in his native tongue, then they need to give him some time. He doesn't have to, but I feel like it's because they sent the estimate and without the car on the lot, the estimate is not valid. It's actually illegal because you do not have the vehicle. How could you assess the vehicle? They were being very, very, very pushy. And at this point right now, it's ongoing. And I emailed her yesterday and she was like, oh, I want to get in contact with your general manager. I emailed her back and I said, I am the general manager. So at that point, she hasn't responded back. And I'll read to you the email that I sent to her after that, letting her know that I would like to speak to her general manager because this claim needs to be escalated at this point. Hold on for a second. So as I'm speaking to you, this is so crazy. As I speak, so this is what I sent to her last night. I sent to her, hold on, let me just pull up this email real quick. So she said, blank, kindly provide the general manager's contact information, right? And I sent back to her that, hi, I am the general and the collision repair manager for this facility. If any questions or anything needs to be answered, it goes directly to me, right? So then after I sent her back an email and I said, I am writing to request the contact information for your operations manager or the person higher than the claims adjuster currently handling this claim for our client related to the collision on February 16, 2025. We would like to escalate this matter if necessary to ensure a timely resolution. Please provide us with the appropriate contact details at your convenience. Thank you for your assistance. Best regards. Now, like I said, as I'm sitting down here and I'm talking to you, I still not have received any email in regards to the person that's higher than her. But guess what just came in? Hi, I am happy to inform that blank insurance has received the appraisal. The repairs are scheduled to take approximately 11 to 12 business days to complete. I have attached a copy of the approved repair plan for your reference. The rental will be authorized during these 11 repair days. And we must let you know that the rental was not approved earlier as advised previously. Also, please be advised that this is only a preliminary estimate. There may be additional damages found upon the disassembly of the vehicle. If in this case, the shop needs to reach out to the appraiser to revise the estimate. Please note that the appraiser is the sole authority in determining the estimate and making the final decision. I am unable to make any adjustments in this matter. So at this point right now, as I'm talking to you, she is responding, very politely today. Very politely. But as the threads were going, it became very straightforward to me that she was upset. So right now I'm going to end this podcast right here. And I'm going to handle this claim. And when this claim is handled, I'll let you guys know exactly how they wanted to proceed and exactly if we got the right amount of money that we were supposed to get for this repair. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And if anybody out there needs advertising, promotion, you can always visit our website at www.carsarustnetwork.com. You can hit us in our DM or a private message at Cars R Us Network on any platform. Somebody will respond to you accordingly. Thanks for listening, and thanks for leaving your comments.